Hi guys, and happy weekend and happy full moon hangover days, because we know that after this massive full moon we all have this hangover, which is great because now we could all say we're tired without feeling guilty. And I was talking the other day to a group and I said, it would be great to stop seeing tired as a negative thing and actually just put it as part of your personality trait. For example, hi, hello, my name's Natalia, I'm tired and I'm hungry. And we shouldn't be ashamed of that, because I realize that almost being 40, I'm tired all the time. Tired is like a state of being, right? So today we are taking a look at the energy for the week of October 5th to October 11th, and we're going to be using the Star Child Tarot as well as the Oracle, which the Oracle is called the Starseed Oracle. I believe these two are made by the same person. And basically what we want to take a look at is at that energy coming. Now in Hair Talk, here we are. We're celebrating 6 months of the last time that I shaved it. And the last time that I shaved it was, I believe, April 1st, and I shaved it all the way down to the skin without any hair to get rid of the bleach. And this is where we are. So it's like a shag / mullet. And yeah, a lot of people are being like, they've seen the pictures and they're like, well, your curls, my curls are still there. It's just at a really, really strange stage that they really look like my grandma's curls. My grandmother used to always go to the salon on Sundays and get these rollers on, and it looked just like that. So I'm not ready for that grandma look. So I've been straightening it. I use heat protecting and all that stuff and deep conditioning it every week because this is more doable like this than if I were to wear it curly. It's just a mess right now. So getting that hair talk out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at the energy for this coming week. So basically what we have here are our crystals, and we have our tons of crystals. We have this mammoth guy who's in the actual corner. He doesn't even fit on camera. He is an 8-pound raw, fully raw, smoky. So let's go ahead and take a look at the energy for this coming week. And remember, as a collective reading, take what you need and leave what doesn't speak to you. Remember, not every card may speak to you, but you just want to leave it on the table for somebody, right? So here we're taking a look at, grounding and the energy, just very open to receiving what the message is for this coming week. So as you see, this is going to be a week where we're really going to need to work with our patience. We're going to really be tested here. And basically, I believe this is because of that Mercury-Uranus opposition that we have on Wednesday, where you may see or almost feel like people are pushing your buttons, right? So we start with that 7 of crystals, making sure that we're grounded, making sure that you're focusing on your breath, that you're choosing your battles. Not everybody who shows up is a battle that you have to go through. Choose your battles and be in charge of that power. As we see the Temperance, we see a lot of growth happening within you, but at the same time, with this growth can come chaos, right? So seeing Temperance, we are being guided to really, really focus on being more patient, not just with other people, but with the self. And this kind of goes perfectly with that 7 of crystals, because there's some kind of anticipation that you're going to be kind of dealing with, like you're waiting for something, right? And your intuition is going to be at an all-time high. So meditation and working with your truth, what we call working with that spiritual truth, right, as part of your journey. Now, when we see that Temperance and that Sun in reverse, that is actually something very interesting. When they come up like that, basically what we see here, the Temperance, it's all about working with that inner patience, but finding that harmony within yourself. Right now, it's not a good time and to reach out to the collective to get energy from there, because there's so many shifts happening. So right now you want to go within. You might be going through a renewal stage, right? So in between cycles, in between the death and the rebirth. So right now it's all about adapting to that energy and working on your own healing. So really focusing on yourself. Now, as you can see, the Sun follows, and the Sun is showing in reverse. Now, when we see that Sun in reverse, what we're seeing here is, really just working with ourselves. There might be something that needs to be released or come to the surface before we're ready to move on, before we're ready to enter those changes that are ahead. So when we see the sun, what we see here is focusing on your internal healing. Now, healing may not look pretty, and it's usually not very pretty, right? But this is understanding that you do have the courage to get through this week. It may indicate that you may be feeling a little bit lonely, or that you're having a little bit of difficulty, right? So although you may at times feel strong in your convictions, there are perhaps moments when you repress your own voice or opinions around others, right? So if you feel as though your direction has been clouded, know that this is merely a temporary setback. And as you can see, it's part of that void, that shift that you're sitting in. So things will definitely begin to shift for the better for you, right? So just become a little more mindful with your thoughts, right? And just kind of focus on yourself and your needs. Stop restricting things just to always be present for other people. The sun in reverse, we definitely need boundaries somewhere in our life, right? So take your time to reconnect with the activities that you enjoy, your skills, your gifts, those gifts that you have that you may ignore, and just take your time to align yourself with this energy. Like we saw with temperance, is adapting, right? And a lot of times when we see this message, it's almost kind of saying you've been doing a lot for other people, you've kind of been putting yourself in the back burner, and now we're kind of feeling the stress, we're feeling that energy of when we're not really taking care of ourselves. We may feel moody, we may feel like we don't have time for anything, and a lot of times we do think that I don't have time to meditate, I don't have time for self-care, I don't have time for self-love, but when we look at these things, yeah, we do. They don't have to be grand. Self-care doesn't mean that I always have to go into the altar and make this big spell that lasts 45 minutes. Self-care can mean me laying down in the couch, listening to my favorite songs while reading a book. Let's not fall into the spiritual ego part of spirituality where self-care needs to look like this, or we got to do it like that, or you're doing self-care wrong. Do not allow that energy to get within you. Those are what we call gatekeepers, people that tell you, you gotta work self-care like this. Honey, there is no right or wrong way to self-care. There is no right or wrong way. Whatever works for you, it's what works for you. For me, self-care may look like me but putting on Bad Bunny and dancing and shaking my butt while going, because all his words are so dirty. But if that makes me feel good, then that's what works for me. So don't ever allow someone to come through and say, oh, for self-care, you have to chant Om for 45 minutes while holding amethyst and rose quartz, because no, honey, we don't do that here. All right, so hopefully you guys have an amazing week. Check out the shop. We are having a 15% off sale for tarot readings, and the code is self-love. See, it all goes together, right? And right now I am scheduling readings for March and April. I know you guys always ask why so long, because I'm fully booked. I've been doing readings for over 20 years, so I have a lot of clients, and I'm just always fully booked, like 3 to 6 months in advance. So there is a waiting period, but it will be worth it. It comes at the right time, right? And basically, I hope that I see you guys next weekend. So the shop is www.lightwitchtarotshop.com, and I will see you lovely faces again next weekend. So thank you for being here. Thank you for existing. I love you. Lots of love and light to you, and blessed be. Bye-bye.